Hello.
Mr. Neri.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Stop that, Bill. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it went out because they had the packet and everything on it, the agenda, so yeah. Yeah, you sent it out Tuesday. Brian. You were chosen. It is 4:34 on Thursday, January 28th, 2021, and I call this meeting of the Meridian Historic Preservation Commission to order. Roll call. Blaine Johnston's here. Commissioner Neri.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Lusigan. I can't hear you, Donna.
Here.
Perfect. Commissioner Fitzgerald.
Here. Here.
Commissioner Everts. Not here. Commissioner Hart.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Alt.
Here.
Thank you. And Councilperson Jessica Peralta. Not here. Adoption of the agenda.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Neri, seconded by Commissioner Lusigan for adoption of the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Approval of minutes from our December 2nd meeting.
Mr. President, I motion that we accept the agenda, or sorry, the minutes as published.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Lusigan, seconded by Commissioner Hart for adoption or approval of our minutes of our December 2nd meeting. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, approval is approved. Thank you. We'll go on to new business, approval of our monthly financial statements. Audrey, is there anything that we need to be aware of?
Mr. President, the only expense that we've had is the payment to TAG Historical Research, which was approved last month. It has not shown up on our financial statement yet, but I anticipate that it will next month.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I move that we accept the financial report.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Alt, seconded by Commissioner Neri for approval of our monthly financial statement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Item 2, it's time for our annual election. So do we have a nomination for president for this coming year?
Does no nomination mean the incumbent wins?
I'll do it again. I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Neri.
I can make a formal nomination to nominate Blaine Johnston for the 2021 president.
And if that nomination needs to be seconded, I will do it.
Motion by Commissioner Neri, seconded by Commissioner Lusigan for nomination of Blaine Johnston for president, or election of Blaine Johnston for president for 2021. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Election of vice president for 2021.
Mr. President, I nominate Josh Everts in his absence.
You snooze, you lose.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Lusigan, seconded by Commissioner Neri for election of Josh Everts to be vice president for 2021. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Item 4, review and approve Meridian Speedway final intensive survey report submitted by TAG Historical Research. Did everybody get a chance to read the final report that they did?
I did. I liked it. I am wondering if it will be available to the commission for, like, is there going to be some kind of a booklet or something that they're going to give us for that? Or is it just what we looked at?
I think you can download it.
Just that. Okay.
Yeah, and to read it, I don't think there's going to be an actual publication of it yet. Commissioner Everts and I are going to present that before City Council next Tuesday to let them know what's going on, at least a portion of it. I don't know that we'll go through the whole thing, but we'll at least present a portion of it before City Council next week. I only saw one item. It's a minor one. I don't know that it's worth correcting, but just make note of it. On page 9, heading was Roots of Midge Car Racing, or I think it should have said Midget Car Racing. That's the only thing that I saw that need to be changed. Like, it's just a minor typo. Like I said, I don't think it's worth them going back to fix it just to republish it. So,
Well, with that in mind, then I would make a motion to accept it as published.
I'll second.
motion by Commissioner Lusigan, seconded by Commissioner Hart for approval of our Meridian Speedway Final Intensive Survey Report submitted by TAG. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Next item of business is Preservation Month planning for 2021. Audrey, have you heard anything from SHPO yet as to what their theme is going to be?
Mr. President, I haven't heard anything from SHPO, and so in this preliminary planning, we can start. It is just preliminary planning. In other activities and events that I've been planning with the Arts Commission, we've made Plan A's and Plan B's according to where our current situation is come May. So I recommend that the Historic Preservation Commission do the same thing. We can just briefly come up with a plan or theming ideas, and then as time gets closer, we'll move forward with our Plan A or Plan B.
Try to make notes, hold on. Does anyone have any ideas that they would like to throw out so we can start talking about it? May will be here soon. There's always the fallback if we can do something in person to do our historic walks again. That's always seemed to go over fairly well with the public. Push comes to shove and we can't do anything with the public. We can redo our videos that we did last month and repost those, or we could do new ones of new buildings. So I guess a Plan B, let's just call it a virtual preservation month for lack of better terms.
Mr. President, if we had a virtual walk, what platform would we put that on? Just a website or?
Mr. President,
You're cutting in and out, JC.
sorry. Donna was asking a question and then I have a thought when she's done. I apologize.
No, I did. I asked my question. It was what platform would we use to do the virtual tours?
Last year when we did them, we uploaded them, and then I think they were just done on as a Facebook story.
Yes, Mr. President, we did a still picture as a Facebook and Instagram post, and then the video that was recorded by the commissioners as a Facebook and Instagram story.
So we can do,
Thank you.
we can do that again. Like I said, we can reuse the existing ones we did, or we can find some other buildings or sites and do new buildings. So I guess let's just call that a Plan B, is we'll just do something virtual depending upon what's going on with our health situation in the state right now. And I don't know where we're going to be with having public, so.
Mr. President.
Oh, go ahead.
Commissioner
No,
Neri.
you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just going to ask if, is that normally all you do is just the historic walks, or are there other things that we do? Like, I know that we have some good resources there at City Hall that if we were opened up by then, people could come in and we could have some kind of, maybe some of us could be there and we could have some kind of either a presentation or just an open house kind of thing where they can.
We have done open houses here. We have brought some of the History Center's displays from the basement up and maps, put them in the lobby of City Hall, and had them here for the public. We've got Lila's video on the city history that we've set up in the conference room that just plays on a loop. People can go in and watch it, listen to Lila on her history of the city. So that is an option also.
How much does it take to set that up? How far in advance would we need to either reserve the space or whatever? In case we do open up, that would be a nice thing. Or if we don't open up, I mean, I don't want to waste the time.
If City Hall is open to the public, I would say if we have a date picked by March, we could probably reserve the conference room by that time and set something up. Commissioner Neri.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just another idea on the virtual world. I've been trying to be creative about different ways to engage and interact with people. And I'm thinking about the videos I thought were great, and posting them to social media are great. But in the instance, we aren't able to interact quite like we were thinking, or we'd like to expand on that. I've been doing some research, and some other communities have done like virtual scavenger hunts and things like that. And I think we have materials that we've used in the past for those third grade tours that we might be able to put together, like a virtual scavenger hunt where we could ask the public to post photos, you know, of what we're seeing. And then maybe we award one of our coins for completing it. I don't know. I just started admittedly looking at it over the weekend, so I could spend a little bit more time on that if people are interested, if the commission's interested, and try to come up with a creative way to get people more involved with maybe going out and actually looking at the buildings themselves to find some of these hidden features.
I think that's a great idea.
I do too.
Then with the commission's blessing, I will do some research and I'll put together just a real quick kind of what this could look like. We did one at Boise State in November using some art pieces. And so I kind of have some rough templates from some things. So I'll put together a really quick presentation for next month that you all can look at. And if it's the direction we want to go, if we go back up, then amazing, maybe to supplement the videos. And if not, no big deal. But I want to be prepared for the instance that social media doesn't play out the way that we want it to. So I will work on that for next month.
Hey, Commissioner Neri, quick question
Yes,
for
sir.
you. If we are able to do this with the public, with the commission there, do you think it's something that we could do either virtually or with the public? That we're just working off one game plan?
Yeah, Mr. President, that's a great question. I think so. Yes, I think it's something that we could, require entries by a specific time where we could actually maybe draw the winner in person at an event where everybody is all together. And we could open up a scavenger hunt maybe during a specific time, like 10 to noon on a Saturday, and commissioners could all be in the community to help support that, and kind of, everybody center at City Hall, and then we say, here's your list and go. And then first team back wins some kind of a prize. I know there's some budget limitations and things like that. And then obviously tax limitations, but I think we could expand it either way, depending on whatever makes the most sense.
So we're not spinning our wheels. Why don't we just plan on doing a scavenger hunt for Preservation Month, and we'll just go with the flow. And if we can do it in person, we'll do it in person. If it has to be virtual, then we'll do a virtual one. How does that sound, everybody?
I like that.
Does that sound like a winner to everybody?
That sounds
Yeah.
great.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. Um, Mr. Neri,
Yes, sir.
do we need a motion to go forward with this since it's just a new business item, an action item? Or can we just go ahead and plan on it and then continue it next month?
Yeah, I don't think a formal motion is necessary. I mean, if this is
Okay.
everybody but Josh is on the call. So I think, Mr. President, I think the commission is fine moving forward. I think you can do that without a formal motion.
Okay, then we'll just plan on doing a scavenger hunt. If SHPO's theme is kind of in line with it, we can kind of run with it. If not, we'll have our own theme for Preservation Month. We'll figure out the days in February. I'll look at calendars and see what SHPO is out there, but we'll have dates. So in February's meeting, we'll have pick dates on what day we want to do this. If we can go live, if it's virtual, we can do we'll just have a backup plan as a virtual, if it's going to be throughout 1 week or a couple of weeks in May. So if that sounds good, everybody, we'll just proceed that way.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect. Thank you. Great idea, JC. So we will go on to item 6. Next steps for our 2021 student initiative. Commissioner Hart. I'm going to
Mr.
ask you to do
President.
something.
Yes.
Since Brian is our student commissioner, his term will expire sometime this summer, I believe.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, if you could be our, for lack of better terms, our permanent commissioner in charge of our student initiative.
Absolutely. I would love that.
So you and Brian, it'll be a subcommittee, I guess. Get with Audrey, set up times where you can meet. But I think another question for you, Mr. Neri, can they just email back and forth with ideas without making a formal decision on
Yes.
what we want to do?
Yes.
If you want to just do that, copy me, copy Audrey on your thoughts going back and forth. In the past, we've done essays for senior highs. And I think we did, and JC, correct me, I don't know if we did essays for middle schools and art for elementaries, or if we did an art for middle schools also. Do you remember?
Yeah, we accepted any type of medium. So we said essays or multimedia presentations and or artwork. So we tried to really open it up so that no matter kind of what your kiddo's interested in, there would be a space for them on this platform.
So do we want to have multimedia for high schools also? Or do you want to limit them to an essay?
I think multimedia works nicely. I'm just thinking about the type of tech skills that high school students have. We may get some really good presentations that we could put on the website or use for, future programming too. It would be interesting to see what people come up with.
So Commissioner Fitzgerald, being a highly educated high school student, highly tech savvy high school student, what are your suggestions? PowerPoint, videos, what do you think? Anything?
Well, I think if we're gonna do this kind of competition, I think multimedia would definitely get more interest than just an essay or just a PowerPoint. So if you allowed that to be open, you might get more participants.
Okay.
And I was also thinking of something, we could do a competition or something, but maybe like a high school time capsule. We have ours in Generations Plaza, but like maybe a more informal one. We could keep it in the history center of, this is your school history from Meridian schools that you could just bring. It's not really a competition, but could be opened up in like 10 years or something. We could see what these past few years have been like. And from the perspective of the youth of Meridian.
Okay. And that's Commissioner Neri. So it doesn't conflict with Preservation Month. Was that something that we did in April in the past?
Mr. President, it's my recollection that we opened up like a call in April, but had them come in May. And we closed voting. So, we closed submissions end of April and had commissioners review the first couple weeks of May. And then we selected the winner formally at our May meeting and invited the winner to attend if they wanted, but distributed from there.
Okay.
Because of COVID though, and knowing that so many students are remote learning right now and being supported by parents who are, doing multiple things right now, maybe we think about finalizing the call and opening it up even as soon as March and giving students like March and April this year. I'm just trying to be really aware that I think everybody's plates are full now in a totally different way than they ever have been. And maybe additional time might be helpful for students, but also parents who are trying to motivate their students to be actively involved in something like this.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Commissioner Hart, Commissioner Fitzgerald, if you guys want to come up with some ideas for our student initiative, present it at our February meeting, and then first part of March, then we can get a hold of the school district and send that out and let the students aware this is coming up. And then, like I said, I think that's a good idea, JC, is to have March and April, they can do their work, submit it to HPC by the end of April. Then we can look at it, vote on it in our May meeting. Audrey, if you want to just go back, or we can go back and look at our notes on the last time. I think that high school, we gave a cash award. And I think middle school and elementary schools wore gift cards, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I know we have $150 budget for that.
Okay.
So we'll decide how we want to distribute that. Another point of reference for those of us, including myself, who weren't there for the last time this happened, what was the prompt given to the students?
It was anything that had to do with Meridian history, whether it was their family history in Meridian or a building in Meridian or anything like that. As long as the theme was Meridian history, that was the theme.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Neri.
I think I have the old call for submissions in my records. So I will, when we get off the call, I apologize, my internet is being silly today. But when we get off the call, I will switch to my other computer and see if I can't find it and send it like to you and Audrey within the next couple of hours. And if not, I'll send you an email to let you know I didn't find it. But I think we asked a question, something about like, how is your history, affected your view of Meridian? There was some sort of there was an actual prompt, but you're right. It was about their own personal history or their feeling about Meridian history, but we asked a specific question.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to find that, send that to us, then we'll forward that on to Commissioner Hart and Commissioner Fitzgerald.
That sounds perfect. I will do that.
Perfect. Any other things we need to discuss for our student initiative? Clear as mud? All right. With that being said, we will move on to item 7, update on our social media subcommittee. We had a meeting last week. And I'll let Audrey go over notes from that. So we can talk about what we've decided or what's gone on so far. So Audrey, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So as a bit of a recap, the Historic Preservation Commission is working on acquiring the previously established History of Meridian, Idaho Facebook group, which has been run by Robert Mortensen, a Meridian citizen who's formerly a commissioner. Robert has agreed to give us administrative access to that group. So we basically will share responsibility and help develop and cultivate this Facebook group. Our original plan was for the commissioners to do the posting via secondary Facebook profiles. However, we got feedback from our city communications manager stating that it's against Facebook policy to have secondary profiles. And so we are discouraged from using secondary profiles, and the city will have exclusive access to the administrative rights. So the way forward we've been guided is that the social media subcommittee will develop the content calendar on a monthly or quarterly basis, however, and then the posting will actually be done by me as a city employee, and commissioners are welcome to participate on the group, they can even post in the group, make comments, do whatever, but it will be through your personal Facebook profiles. So that is the plan of action that has been laid out for us. And I think all the other doors have kind of been closed. So
my question for you, Audrey, is when you post to that, it will be posted as City of Meridian,
that's correct.
HPC or Historic Preservation Commission,
No, it will be
just City of Meridian.
City of Meridian.
Okay.
This new group will be HPC's subset,
Okay.
but the administrative rights will be given to the City of Meridian's main Facebook account.
Okay. It's not what we wanted to do. 'Cause we would have liked to have done stuff just as as commissioners. We did not want to put extra burden on city staff to do what we would like to get done, but I guess it is what it is. Does anybody have any questions that we can try and answer before, so we can move forward?
I do, Mr. President. I was just wondering, so how do we get the content, whatever it's going to be? How do we as a commission decide what we're going to take to the city and ask them to post for us?
Right now, best way that I can answer that is if it's a photo, you can caption it, send it to, I guess that we, right now, I'd say you send it to Audrey, then our social media subcommittee would look at it. If we need to tweak it a little bit, then we would tweak it. Then we can get it to Audrey for posting onto Facebook.
So we send it to her via email?
Yes.
Mr. President, I agree. That seems like the most streamlined way. The subcommittee will be creating a whole, like, a calendar of dates and pictures and captions, which I will be using to do regular posting. So if the, commissioners at large who are not a part of the social media subcommittee have a specific post they want posted by the city of Meridian, then you can, like Mr. President said, email me. I'll include it in the subcommittee's discussion about the calendar, and we'll move forward like that. So it is more unlikely not, it'll be more likely like the following month, not immediately. If we have immediate, almost emergency postings, then I can accommodate that. But for just regular posting, we'll get it on the calendar, so it won't be immediate. However, the commissioners, again, are welcome to post from your own personal profile. So if you have something, you're welcome to participate in the group as a group member. It just won't be posted by the city of Meridian. It'll say Donna Lusignan. And
So if I go to the Facebook page of the city of Meridian, I can post there as a private citizen, whatever I want, pretty much.
it's the History of Meridian, Idaho Facebook group.
Ah.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Alt.
how well are you going to stick to the integrity of what we send? One of the problems that I had with what was done with our videos were they were strictly 24 hours and gone. And if I take the time to go make a video of something and want it posted, is that going to stay, or should I not put forth that effort?
That was a misunderstanding that I had last year. I didn't think there were going to be stories. I thought they were going to be posted, so they would be permanently on there. So yeah, I whatever we post, I don't want them posted as stories. I want them posted to be permanently there for us to be able to look at, comment on, and hopefully once Audrey posts something on to that page, then the city's Facebook page could then pick it up and post to the City of Meridian's Facebook page.
Yes. So the Facebook group doesn't have story capabilities, I don't believe. It has to be a page. But this is a group, meaning that anyone can post. Because it's a group, it's more of a communal thing. If this was a page, like the City of Meridian page, then only the City of Meridian can post on its own page. However, in a group, which is what our History of Meridian group will be, anybody can post on it at any time. And there are no 24-hour story capabilities there. So any postings that we have will be like a normal Facebook post, permanent.
Right, I understand that. What I'm asking is, if I email you something that I have done, are you going to change the format and not post it as it should be posted? i.e. posting a video to the stories that only last 24 hours as opposed to putting them on the page.
That will probably be up to the subcommittee. Anything submitted to the subcommittee will be open for the subcommittee to change however they want. But once it goes on the calendar, then I'll be posting what's on the calendar.
I agree with you, Commissioner Alt. I don't want it posted as a temporary story on Facebook. So if you guys go through the effort and we go through the effort of finding content to be posted, like I said, I want it to be there for everybody to look at. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Neri.
I'm I'm just going to be like human for a second. This topic is fairly frustrating to me, but I understand where we are and the world that we're living in. I'm trying to weigh cost versus benefit of actually doing a subcommittee and a content calendar and asking that it be generated that way. Like, there's significant limitations in that and not a lot of benefit to the commission to then the time it takes to put a calendar together, have the calendar pre-approved and then posted. Commissioners won't know that it's been posted, so we won't be able to really interact with citizens, which puts a lot of burden on city staff who are not going to have the ability to work overtime if dialogue needs to happen evenings and weekends. I'm wondering if it's not smarter for commissioners to, and that way we get the notifications if there's been a comment or ways to interact, and then and just do it separately like that. Like, I'm not sure that there's an actual benefit to doing a whole content calendar. I've thought about it since last week, and I'm trying to see how that helps the mission.
Yeah, I don't know either, JC. I've struggled back and forth on this one too. I actually reached out to the city of Casper, Wyoming, their Historic Preservation Commission. They have a Facebook page. And I just straight up asked them, does the city post or do their commissioners post? And they said, their commissioners do all the posting on that Facebook page. The city staff does nothing for that page. So I've struggled with that also, but I think it's something we're just gonna have to discuss a little bit further. And I think we can bring it up again.
Yeah, that's.
Mr. President, I do think that is within the guidance that we've been given. If the commissioners.
Mr.
just wanna-
President.
Commissioner Neri. Your audio is breaking up, Audrey, or JC, sorry.
I apologize. My internet is being weird. No, not better. I will email Audrey. I'm sorry, my internet is terrible today.
So I guess at this point in time, we have another subcommittee meeting set for February.
Not yet, but I will. I can send one.
So we'll set another subcommittee meeting up for February. Let's discuss this one more time in the subcommittee. Bring it back before the entire commission at our February meeting. Maybe we can get a couple of things answered and then we can start moving forward, especially before Preservation Month gets here. If Commissioner Hart and Commissioner Fitzgerald have ideas for student initiative, I think we can post that to that Facebook page also and let people know this is coming up. That's another advertising tool that we can use for the public. So,
Mr. President, I apologize, but could you remind me why we couldn't have our own Facebook page? Was it because city can't allow it, or they need to monitor it, or was that the reason?
basically, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So we will continue this as reports for our February meeting have another social media subcommittee meeting in February, talk about it some more, have a finalized discussion at our commission meeting in February, and then hopefully we can start rolling stuff out in March. Does that sound like a plan? Yay or nay?
Sounds good. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay. We will do that then. So that's all I have on the agenda for now. So at our February meeting, as far as reports, we'll get a report from Commissioners Hart and Fitzgerald on student initiative. And we'll have a social media report from that subcommittee. Anything else we need to talk about next month?
Mr. President, we talked about Preservation Month and Commissioner Neri presenting scavenger ideas.
So we will also have reports for Preservation Month to do at our next meeting. Anything else we need to talk about? I'm not trying to rush you guys out of here, but we have a meeting set for council chambers at 5:30, so we need to get out of here so they can set up for that. If there's no other discussion,
Mr. President, I move we adjourn this meeting.
motion by Commissioner Alt, seconded by Commissioner Fitzgerald for adjournment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Hearing none,
Aye.
motion carries. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you in a month.
Bye, guys.
Aye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.